Okay, I want to make this video real quick on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Last videos we made were talking about these areas that were support back from 825, and then also on 121, and then over here on 211. These areas that were right around 15,700 were holding up very well. But we didn't want to press any shorts or any longs at this particular time because there was a lot of uncertainty and whatnot in the market. So from these points here, when we got the breakdown on the MACD below the zero line, and also we got the sell signal on the DMI, and then we had the breakdown on the RSI. These were the signals that we took to go short, and then obviously cover at the lows here when they didn't hold down in the second day. You know, you give back a little bit of profit, but we like to see if we can get a continued move, and we didn't get it continued. If we had got another second candlestick here, we would have stuck with the positions a little bit longer, but and when it drew back and stopped, and the next day immediately turned green and started going, we took a profit that we had there. Same scenario here. We didn't necessarily go long here because we weren't really liking some of the signals that we saw. Yes, they were still bullish signals coming across, and this area held the second time. But we actually waited, played it a little bit safer. Yes, we gave up a little bit of gain here, but we waited and played it safe, a little bit more safe here when we started to get in this consolidation and get above the last area. See, this is where it had the breakout last time at 16.5. It had this breakout, a nice big run to the upside. Well, when it got this breakout here and then kind of stayed in here for some consolidation for a few days and really didn't get much lower than that, well, the breakout to the upside was fairly obvious, and we had the proper signals this time on the MACD, the RSI, and that. So on the long positions we had today, we're basically out of 80% of them right now, just due to the fact that we were right at this judgment point here at this 200-day moving average. We have a little bit of positions left from the long side, and we're going to hold just a little bit longer to see how the next couple of days draw this out. If we get a continued move to the upside, we should get a retest here back at the 200-day moving average, and then a nice play and a thrust to the upside again. It will always like to come back and test it to make sure that it's going to hold. And you can see that it did the same thing here. It got rejected first, which is maybe what we could expect again. But when it did break above it, it kind of faded a little bit, got a little test, and then had a big push to the upside. So we're kind of waiting to see that same kind of opportunity to unfold, or it's just going to fail and then break down. As far as being short, the markets right now, we do have some hedges on. I have some gold in play, some silver in play. I have a few of those that I keep always long term as of right now. Before I was just doing the VIX, but right now I switched over because we had the breakout on gold and the breakout on silver, so I switched over to those positions longer term. So we're going to just wait to see what happens and see if we get this pullback, or if we get this new thrust to the upside, then a retest and a move higher, or if we get the failure. Now, as far as the short position, I don't want to be too short this market as of yet, and here's why. I really would like to be patient and wait for the signal and the confirmation. I know that we might miss some downside move if, in fact, you look back later and say, boy, the 200-day moving average was it, and she really just failed from there. And that's okay if we miss some to the upside or some to the downside. But I'd rather have a safer entry like we did here when we were actually going to the short position. We actually just weren't piling in the short position. We were waiting for this area to break down. And when it did break down, then, of course, we got short and looked for this area back here to trim the profits and see if we got any follow through, in which we didn't. So we were exiting most of our shorts there, and then it played the same way. When it couldn't get above here, then we re-exited the shorts. Now we didn't get long here because, like I said, the signal really wasn't something that I really liked yet. I think this was more of a positive breakout. So we did miss a little bit to the upside most recently, but we still caught quite a bit of it. So, and I think it was a little bit more of a safe move there. So we're going to wait to see what happens now. I don't think I really want to do either one. I mean, if you have some longs already, like we have just a little bit left, you could stay with them and see where the market goes from here, and maybe you get a little bit more. So that's a good idea if you have some. You know, on the long side, just to be safe, and I like to play it extremely safe because this market's volatile and it can change in a dime. If you have some profits, you need to protect them. You need to take some off, however you like to do it. But don't just assume that it's going to keep running or that it's going to fail. Soon that you assume that, that's when they're going to take your money away from you. So anyways, we're just going to sit back and wait a little bit over the course of the next couple of days this week and see if we get any more signals for definite confirmation, either to run to the upside or to start maybe taking on some short positions. But as of right now, that's pretty much it overall. And I think that this is going to be a really good year for some volatile trading. It's already started off that way, and it's been very good. But as far as holding anything for a very long time, I think you need to consider maybe not doing so much of that anymore. As you can already see from just the movements in the past few months, this market has had such a huge range of movement that you can really do well if you're prepared to get in and out of those positions and strategically put them on at the proper entry and take them off at the exit point. So just watch and be diligent in using money management, and I think that we're going to have a very successful year. So good luck, and I will see you in the next one.